All right, I'm told that this just started going as our many fans said, what do you have to do with a timer? So let's just jump over our many fans.
You are our many fans.
Our many fans. So we're looking at I call it my owlbear, because I think that's a more D&D appropriate than the meeting owl that it really is. So, but here we are, live from my basement. It's Thursday night. Woo! Welcome to Dave's Maginations. Dave's Maginations present Anthologies, a Varinka story. Something along the lines. I don't remember. It's also something.
A Varinka anthology. Tussle and Tersegal.
A tussle. No, Shadows and Chains.
Oh, that's right, Shadows and Chains.
Shadows and Chains. So we have a slightly different group tonight, as Christian and Glenn are in remote assignment on battling the northern lands.
Yeah.
Storming the castle. Let's hope they're not storming it.
Digging ditches.
Yeah.
Storming Glenn's castle.
So, as a surprise to all of us, we brought Noel, as the acting dungeon master, has brought back Leonard.
Eeyore.
Eeyore. We don't know yet. We don't know who he is yet.
Surprise.
Now, as Eeyore, as he puts his little stuffed Eeyore on the table, there he is.
Oh no.
And so today, though, I made a purchase at GameStop. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a video on it. But the gal that checked me out said, "Is this for you?" And I said, "Why, yes, it is." And she goes, "Oh, I never get to play D&D." And I said, "Well, here's my card. We play every Thursday night." Our game's full, though. It doesn't feel very full tonight, but normally it is full. And so she scanned the code and new subscriber. So Lexi, if you're watching, appreciate you for joining, and we'll dedicate this game to you. So, but if you do watch it, we appreciate it. So, as we go, we do have our normal crew. Christian and Glenn are gone. Leonard's stepping in. Ken is joined us remotely, as he always does. And from here, I think I'll pass it over to our Dungeon Master.
Well, we have a lot to cover today.
Let me speak. Let me stop.
Oh, it's so quiet.
Yeah. Let me try that one more time.
Oh my.
Did I go too high?
Let
Maybe.
me speak. No, there is too much. Let me stop.
No, turn that back down, or Ken is going to, right around 20 something.
I don't know. Right?
Give it to me. Go ahead and continue.
So, just to kind of give a recap for our guest NPC and Lexi, we are in the middle of our trek across the Black Road, trying to catch up with Varinka's kidnappers. The Zentarum have targeted Varinka for all of her hard anti-slave attacks that she's been terrorizing the Zentarum with, so now it's payback, and they've decided to kidnap her and take her to Tersegal, where they will execute her on public display in celebration of their new port that they control. Hired by the Redux, I don't know what you would describe him as.
The main, that was the vampire dude.
Yeah, the vampire dude.
The vampire dude.
And who in charge of a school
Was
for
it Jericho?
blood hunters. Yes, it was Jericho. Jericho runs the blood hunter school in Redux. I don't know if you call it school, but cult. Maybe that's a strong word too.
Society.
Society. Yeah. Cooperative. And so Jericho has commissioned heroes to go and rescue her. And this is how our party comes together. We have Pardusia Tabaxi Thief and two other things. A monk.
A monk and thief. Monk rogue.
And we have Soraya, a bard from the area. We have PR, who, gosh, I forgot what your class is, Ken?
Barbarian.
Barbarian, that's right. The muscle in the group. And they, along with Vilter and Vernon, have left Redux, started up the road, and then Vernon and Vilter decided they would transform in using their druid skills and fly to cut off the would-be kidnappers from allowing them to reach Teshwave. So they flew ahead, and they built a trench across the Black Road that's 60 feet wide, I think. It was 230 feet cubes, and they used a mold earth, I think that was what it was, to do that. So now there's this seemingly impassable trench that nobody can cross. So they left behind Soraya, Parducci, and PR to travel by wagon. Thanks to Parducci, they have a nice, comfortable wagon with excellent horses. Well, at least until they traded out for more substandard horses.
Oh, yeah.
Well, horses were tired. Time was out of essence.
So in order to broker this trade, there was some elevated conversation between Soraya and the trader, who was trying to hold on to his horses. But Soraya wooed them and sung them into submission, and they conceded to the deal. Meanwhile, Parducci snuck with his cloak of invisibility, her cloak of invisibility, back through the traders' wagons and discovered that it's actually Zentarum slave traders, and they had six slaves, and in the third wagon, Parducci encountered a fighter, a beefy fighter, and she decided she could take him. And she was able to manage it
And just.
at some difficulty. And she freed the slaves. And I don't think I said this, but you can have inspiration for saving
All right, thank you.
the slaves and making that choice. She was unable to find any other treasure of note, but she snuck back, bloodied and bruised, to her wagon, and her horseman, Crawley, traded out the horses, and within moments they took off down the road as quickly as possible before the charm would expire, and they find the dead body in the wagon. So we pick up about 15-20 minutes down the road, where they galloped off at speed to get as far away as possible. And then when they think they're in the clear, they slow down.
At what point do we, and by we I mean Soraya and PR, find out about what you Parducci were doing during
very quickly, as we get back into the carriage, and we finally, I would say, Mr. Crowley, we should be hasty, make haste, and put some distance between them, as very quickly they might realize that their slaves are missing, and one of their own is laying unconscious in the weeds off to the side. It won't take them long to figure out what has happened, and I would prefer that we have as much distance as we can. So it would be very quickly after we get back. Is that was what you're asking, right? Right?
Yes, in essence. So you knocked one of them out?
They had slaves?
Yeah, they had slaves? You knocked one of them out?
I suppose we could say that I knocked one out.
And well, given your health level,
Yeah.
you probably look old.
It took some doing, but one of their own has been disposed of, and well, let's make haste, shall we?
Indeed. Let's see.
I mean, if they're tracking slaves, it seems like we should just
I guess
eliminate them.
the question is, will they value coming after us more than going after the slaves they've lost? I told the slaves to run as fast as they could to the south. Hopefully they can make it down to Tentham, whatever that next town south is, or along the hills.
Malos?
Hopefully they can make it to a town before the slavers catch back up with. But who knows what they will try to do once they discover they've been raided.
So here's a question for you. Kind of above the table-ish. Well, no, it's above the table. Are you planning to use hit dice during the short rest?
I've got them in my hands.
Okay, so you will like this as well. During the short rest, Soraya will be playing her instrument to herself. You get an extra 1d10 hit points
That would be very helpful.
if you use your hit dice.
I've used up 8 of my 9 lives, so...
So an hour passes, so you can have a short rest.
Yes, and I get my monk key points back too. That's wonderful. Come on, big roll.
And I get my bardic inspiration back.
All right. 10, 20,
You forgot your phone, right?
5.
Phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can always put it up here and if you want. Way up that.
I'm still only up to not even half my health, so... I'm going to use 2 more. There's another 6.
Using up those hit dice.
Yeah.
You probably got like 1,000.
15, right? And so I just used 9 of my 15,
Oh, good.
and I'm still not even half. So
Wow.
yeah, so that I used 9 times 8 is 72. So plus
Plus 10.
10 is 82. So you'd hope I would get 41, which is I got 31.
How many hit dice do you have?
15. We all have 15. And I get half of those back, half my total number back.
Does the monk give you a better hit die? Or no?
No. But Soraya will go into a kind of a meditative stance
Or
for that. Not Soraya,
Perdusi, yeah.
but Perdusi going in and meditate as the waves of the harmonies flow over her as she meditates to the great cat god and recovers her hit points and her key.
Isn't that who is it? The Norse god Freya.
Huh?
Freya, the Norse god, in her
Goddess.
goddess. Sorry, yeah. Her chariot is
Led by cats?
led by cats.
Oh.
I never knew that.
She's a goddess of like death
So-
and chocolate and cats or something like that.
I know you did some stuff. Are you recovering anything during a short rest?
No, just I get my inspiration, my bardic inspiration back.
Okay. So, you go for about another half an hour, 45 minutes. And can you move this just down right before this turn? Just to kind of give everybody, I don't know, are you displaying this? I didn't even think about that.
I am.
Okay, good. Right about there, it's good. So you get a little bit further down the road. It is now, what, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I think. So it's still dark of night, but the promise of sun is coming. And so, if you could
When did we
load the
say
suspicious cavern.
we were gonna ride until? I don't remember what we said.
It would be dusk, dawn.
6 a.m. ish.
Yeah.
6 a.m.-ish? Okay.
Because it was after midnight when you traded horses.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought that the horses were fresh. Can you bring in the characters too?
I have the characters here,
Oh, perfect.
but I don't. If you want him,
Oh, yeah.
I need you to copy Control C. Control C.
Done.
And it's got it. I got it. And I don't know where you want them. Right here. Control
Yeah.
Victor. Control Victor.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, I'm going to need.
So, I think we said that Soraya has her camel.
That your
Yeah,
assistant is riding.
My assistant was driving,
Yeah.
but PR was riding up front with
Yeah,
Crowley.
Yep.
So
Last I knew.
yeah, and Crowley's he is grumpy. First of all, he's been up like 18 hours,
Right.
and he's approaching exhaustion just like we all are, right? And he is not happy.
we gave away his horses.
Technically, they're Parducci's horses, but he's been the one taking care of them, and those were his babies. And sorry, I feel sorry for PR who's been riding with them.
All right.
Just PR is just planning revenge for all the grumbling he's having to endure.
And you, maybe? I don't know.
So you come along, hour and a half, I think it said, hour and a half, and you reach this point where you come upon this scene. So you approach from stage left, where your characters are. So Crawley stops grumbling for a few minutes to say, "Hey, there's something going on up ahead."
PR would see it, right?
So PR, how would you handle that?
Approach with caution.
Do you just try to go around it, or do you stop to investigate? You want to stop, tell everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, let's get closer and then... Because, I mean, there's trees on either side, so I think we might have to clear stuff out of the way, right?
Yeah, I'd say you probably do. If you don't want
Alright.
to get hooked up on something.
I'll start poking the people in the back.
All right, so we've stopped the wagon, and you've told us inside, and so we've stepped out.
Yeah, and as you step out, you see there is still smoldering going on towards the center of.
Do you want to draw the flames?
So, somewhere right around here. If I can draw the circle. You would see a blast zone. I thought it was going to do it. Is that not?
Yeah, so with that,
This one.
no, well, that's right. And then if you just click and drag the radius,
That's just like targets.
oh, then do the measure one, maybe. The one underneath it? I don't think you want that one. I think you want the one
That's
above
good.
it.
It's measurement controls.
Oh.
Was it that pencil?
Okay,
That's it. You're
Was
right.
it that one?
I think it's measurement control and then purple template.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Hold it.
There you got it.
Wait, do we presume this is the result of a fireball?
It looks familiar to that, for
Okay.
sure. And it is at the front of that carriage there. You notice everyone is dead. There are arrows in some of the bodies. Some of the bodies look like they've been drained of life. Just sunk and sullen faces and things like that. You see there's things strewn all about. It's like you see in the map. How do you want to proceed?
So I'd like to see if they are whatever that.
Alive?
Well, not that. Well, yes, naturally, but this is what happens when you take a few weeks off.
Yeah.
Whatever what's that?
Centrum.
Yes.
Zentarum,
To see if
yeah.
they're Zentarum. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do we see any like?
Yeah,
symbols,
so you know the symbols that you've seen before, and they do not. These look like mostly traders and mercenaries for hire.
Okay.
Escort traders, you would probably reasonably assume. You guys have been around. You know what a mercenary looks like and how they behave. Their equipment is a little ramshackle. It's not fine. It's not particularly well taken care of.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Have they been robbed?
Like I said, there are items strewn all about. If you'd like to investigate those things.
Does it seem like there's
Yes.
things that a thief would want that have been left behind?
So you're going to do an investigation.
Yeah.
Sure. So you start walking through, and you do. You got your lantern, and things are dim.
Do you want just each of us to roll investigation, and then based off that, you can tell us individually
Yeah. Yeah.
what we
go
find,
ahead.
if anything.
Jar, roll an investigation as well.
$11.
11,
19.
19, and
13.
13. So going with the 19 first, you begin to see, glints of that gold or silver. One thing in particular sticks out. There's this box about this big, and it's very ornate. Looks like it's been well used, but it still looks pretty. And there could be something in there. It looks like it's big enough that like a jewelry box, There are other items. You see pouches on dead mercenaries. It might be coin purses. But yeah, the one good thing that you see sticking out is that jewelry box. And I'd say it's like somewhere near this body right here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't point up there.
Oh yeah, so this body right here.
Well, Ken can't see that either.
Oh yeah.
If you just click and hold, it will circle the spot you're at. So I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you need to be on the person. Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
All right. So Parducci finds this box.
Yeah.
And notices that the coin bags of many of the people have not been taken, and so I would say this is not the work of burglars. I do wonder what they were after. And
Does any of the dress match the slave you found?
I'm gonna the people that are on the ground. Certainly not, right? These are not, they don't seem to be slaves.
Correct. They're not the ones you rescued.
Right.
Anything like that.
Who would go to all this effort and not take the gold? Even if you aren't a thief,
Do you know anything of anatomy?
Which, speaking of gold, PR is picking up all the gold bags he finds.
Okay, so yeah, you'll just go around to each body and
Yeah.
help yourself to their purse.
In the course,
Okay.
it's not doing them any good.
PR,
Sure.
how is your skills in medicine?
Very good. Extremely good.
Yeah? Could you
And by
have...
that I mean very bad.
Oh,
Oh. in the most sarcastic way possible.
I do have a +2 in medicine, but
Yeah, but
But-
who doesn't?
yeah,
I-
who doesn't?
I know
Soraya,
how to cut off fingers.
Soraya would say, oh,
I can
I'm
amputate.
more of a scholar of poems.
Yeah, you've already proven that.
Yeah, I have no particular skill in medicine, but I do wonder why these bodies seem so emaciated.
Might that be an Arcana check?
Yeah, I think if anybody wanted to do an Arcana check, they could.
That I am decent at.
Please, I'm better at medicine.
I would even.
Natural 20 +7.
I was going to give you advantage, but I guess you don't.
You need that, yeah.
So immediately you recognize that this is something that looks like necromantic energy has been used to drain their lives. And you've seen Toll the Dead. This kind of looks similar to that, where their black veins are blackened and their faces sunken in because their life has literally been drained from them.
So yeah, Soraya would lean over one and kind of inspect and be like, I've seen this before. Definitely necromancy.
And with your
Cowards kill with magic.
with your natural 20, you probably would say you've seen this from magic users. The magic really kind of has that signature. This is coming not from like a beast or a monster, but from a mage of some sort, sorcerer maybe, or
Sorcerer, wizard,
warlock.
something like that. Definitely not a bard.
Right. Definitely.
Do you think one wizard could do all of this? I suppose a powerful
wizard.
enough.
Powerful enough.
I would investigate the land around.
So let me just step back for a second. You got the jewelry box.
Yep.
What did you do with it?
Well, I haven't done anything with it yet.
Do you want to place our tokens? That might help with your story. I imagine we're kind of around that last wagon.
PR, you could probably move yourself, right? You'd like to do that.
You have to select the top
Ah.
right, the square-looking thing. There you go. Click.
It's kind of going slow.
It's a little slow.
Well,
Computer's doing a lot.
Yeah.
yeah.
I somehow hit reload application. So, you can move me.
Okay. Where do you want to be?
I mean, if we're all talking over the body.
Yeah,
Seems like
you're
we're all
over the
there.
body too.
That's fair.
I'm holding that box. It is interesting. I will. Shall I open this now or wait for? I feel like we should wait for later. As I'll tuck it away for now.
We can finish investigating.
Yeah. We'll hold off on.
See if we can find the
opening.
cowards who
All right.
killed with magic.
I'm curious. A mage certainly, but was the mage alone? And I start looking in the grass and around the dirt to see if there's tracks that kind of approached it, or if does it seem like more than just who's on the ground here? Was there a large number, or do I not see a large number?
Well, if you want to walk to the side,
As I look in the grass and I kind of do the monk thing as I'm kind of looking through the show monk, not the meme.
Oh, yeah.
As I look at the grass and broken twigs.
Oh.
so as you're starting to get more to the center, you've seen what fireballs look like before. This definitely feels like it has a fireball feel to it. Definitely fire, for sure. As you look around, you see other items. There's candelabras. There's just nice fancy goods. They're charred, of course, but amongst that charred, because you had a 19, amongst that charred remains, you do see next to the horse there is like this item that was kind of protected from the blast a little bit, and it is a cylinder about this big, about a foot long and about 5 inches in diameter, and it kind of looks like what you would think was a puzzle box, but as you pick it up, it's more like a toy, a kid's toy. and I would say it has a pattern on it, and it looks pretty. Innocent enough.
Okay. You did say some of the people had arrows coming out of them, right?
Yes.
So just by the presence
Fine
of
arrows.
finely
Made arrows.
finely made arrows. So just by the presence of these arrows means that mage was likely not alone.
I would like to look around and see if there's any indication of, was this an ambush or a attack of opportunity?
Are you back up and can you move yourself?
Yep, I can. So I'll go the other side.
Start familiarizing yourself.
But I'm looking through the forest, seeing if there's like signs where people have been hiding out for a long time, or.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was distracted. What is it you wanted to do?
Find people have been hiding for a while. I want to see if this was an ambush for a caravan, or did people just happen upon this caravan and take the opportunity?
You rolled an 11, I believe. It was 13.
Oh, for investigate 13.
13. Oh, so you have 11.
I had 11, yep.
So yeah, you really don't see much in the way of anything particularly indicating somebody's been hanging out, sitting around. Tracks of deer, and you see rabbit tracks. It's hard to see in the dark, so you really kind of have to be upon. You feel like you got a good. You don't see in the dark, right? So
I don't think so.
you probably have a lantern, and it's giving you a good 10, 15 feet of good light.
So how long has this been? Are we in danger? And I start looking around. I start looking around at the woods around me with my eyes. I think I do have vision.
Yeah.
So, just as FYI, maybe, but it's still smoldering.
You did say that. This is what I do at most.
Would the caravan we ran to have done this an hour or two ago?
That is a great question.
We've been trying to.
Well, when we encountered them, we saw no signs of magic. They were tough indeed, as I kind of rub my head, kind of lick my paw more. But we saw no signs of magic there. Thank goodness that we didn't tell Sarai.
Yeah, what's your tussle?
I
Or the
suggest
magic user was just playing it safe.
there might be things to learn here. I'm not feeling entirely safe. Pull the bodies aside and let's get on our way.
Did you pick up the toy?
Yes, the toy in that box, but otherwise, start moving bodies. I just the picture. It feels like we ought to be able to push the dead north up.
Sure. So you start moving bodies. The carts are going to be a little bit harder to do.
No, but I think we should be able to squeeze the cart just so moving the cart very much. Work our way across the bottom of the screen. I don't, unless you guys disagree.
We might have to move a little bit, but
Did you check the other side?
I haven't made that far
We haven't
yet.
got that far yet.
Yeah, I feel like the closest bodies are
Right. So you start moving the bodies.
moving the
over.
horses.
I can't move the bodies.
I'm not sure we'll be able to move the horses.
Maybe we can roll a horse over so his feet are pointing the
I
other.
could use the camel.
You hear me? It's dead right there. It's like that might be in the way. Just roll flip it over so the legs are pointing
It
the
might help a little bit.
other.
Definitely help. I don't know what your hair is.
That's probably why is that carriage there. That
Hopefully the same.
I just want to say, if we move the camel, we could try to,
drag something out of the way.
yeah. Well, they can't probably do this by now.
Okay. Oh yeah, they're tired. They have. You didn't.
We did not.
Are you ready to go? Are you ready? Okay. I just want to make sure you had a chance to get familiar with it.
Okay.
Not yet. So go ahead and you guys move this back half over.
Yeah.
You work on it. You're not even bothering with the other half, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I mean,
We'll get there.
We'll work our way down. Yeah.
Just up over the top of the screen to.
So you start getting physical with it. Not really investigating beyond what you have.
I mean, if anything obvious, like a coin pouch, we're gonna grab it.
No, for sure. Those opportunities were pretty easy on the persons. If you wanted to investigate the wagons or wagon, that'll be separate.
Yeah, on our back.
So about 20 minutes goes by, you get the bodies moved. You're using the camel to kind of help with the bigger items. Maybe.
Yeah.
And you move everything out of the way. You feel like you get by with your 4 horses and nice care.
Now it's time to investigate the carts.
Okay. And you feel like if you were in a situation where you had to escape quickly forward, you could at least...
So, I mean, you can see advantage on your roll.
I mean, it seems like us helping
Parducci. Yeah.
Parducci
What's her name?
is probably...
Produce would be the way to go.
You're going to move forward, I assume?
So at this point, our carriage is on the right side of the screen.
Yeah.
It was there.
Now it's like right here. I'm assuming.
Well,
Or
to
do you
the
want to
point-
go to the front? Because you looked at that stuff.
Yes, let's look at the front.
All right.
I want our carriage to be past all the way over there.
All right, we'll put it right there.
Yeah, such that there's nothing to get past. There's no hurdle, no obstruction. So on the right side of that the first
Yeah.
horse,
All right.
all the way over. Yep,
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
we
you.
moved that horse,
No,
didn't we?
you got it. You were right, Ken. All right.
Okay,
So
cool,
on the
cool.
far end of the map, you're ready to peel out of the map.
We stay here. We get out of here. As fast as we'll go.
That's enough.
All right. So
So now we've messed with the things to the right hand side of the screen. Right?
Yeah.
You were kind of asking.
yep. So now you
Yeah,
guys
and
move
we've
yourselves over here.
investigated that wagon. Someone needs
Did
to
you
roll.
want to investigate that
There's,
wagon?
there's 2 wagons. There's one on the left, one on the right.
Right, the one that isn't.
Yeah. Purdue says, I'm taking a look at that wagon that was intact still.
And
I
where
wonder
are
what
you,
they were
Soraya?
caravanning.
Where are you, Soraya? I put you right next to it. But
Yeah, I mean, she'll help if that helps you
And
get
PR,
advantage or
where about
anything.
you? Okay, fine.
Yep,
You're moving
I'm there.
All right, so you begin looking. Go ahead and give me a separate investigation for that.
Do you want him to just roll
With-
advantage?
11 plus 10 is 21.
Yeah. All right. So as you're looking through it, you see there are nice wares. Like these are people's belongings. These are not traders. These are people on the move.
All right.
And what you notice is they are. There's really no.
Okay.
You would find in the 90s, but it's a personal touch that.
I lift up just and I say, I wonder if this would fit was one of the gals from my car.
Oh,
Cecilia, I wonder if this would fit Cecilia over my shoulder. But I think nothing truly of note here. And quite honestly, we're on borrowed time.
Indeed.
And climbing out,
no,
Should we go rummage through the torn apart one?
it's
Still- you can see hot embers. That helps.
When has fire ever hurt anyone?
Well, the barbarian would probably.
So, Pierre, if you are interested, you may take a look, but I have no interest in sending my furs in more than they are.
All right.
Investigation?
Yes, I assume you knew that. I don't know why I want to talk behind you.
8.
8. So as you start going through the burnt papers, you don't see anything of any value, and you mistakenly step on an ember that burns through the sole of your shoe, and it starts getting really hot. Do you continue to stand there?
Okay. No, I could take a hint.
So when you guys come back to the forward, you didn't really do an investigation until you went back instead of investigating here.
Well, we did move the things that
Right.
were here, so.
Right, but going to
Yeah.
the cart, you'll notice that there is a lot of hoof prints, and they look pretty fresh.
Oh.
But they do look like they turn around and head back towards the
The direction that we're going to go.
direction you're going.
So, Pierre, I would say be on your best lookout as we forward.
Guys, I missed anything.
And with that,
Back of the wagon.
has a branch. Yeah.
You guys, you all back into the carriage, okay?
Yeah.
I'm safe under all together, items and anything you want.
So maybe you should ride your camel so you can help keep watch of any potential ambushes.
Sure, I can do that.
Cecilia, do you think this dress would work?
Oh, brings out my eyes.
That's
So we each get 100 gold.
sure.
Yeah, you guys all have plenty of money.
I don't have that much.
Oh, yeah.
One
I
hit-
have hardly anything.
Perfect. 11. Maybe with some tailors.
Yeah, so back in the carriage, about 4 o'clock now for sure. Morning. Dusk is dawn is at 6. So you got more hours you can ride, or you can rest your weary horseman.
Were we supposed to come across him?
It was up, you know, it's one of those things. I don't know what all.
If you pull him in,
Keep going.
he'll sit all night.
God.
Good morning. So, your back carriage.
Yes, I am. Whereas on
4
camel,
o'clock.
I've got Charlemagne and Caesar. We got Kiar and Crowley driving, and we have Soraya on the camel. So,
I'm keeping an eye out.
Right.
Anything suspicious, like fireballs.
You see a fireball, it's going to
Fireballs.
be too late.
So, yeah, go ahead and get it all back in there. Got 2 hours. We get 2 hours per dawn.
so we thought we were right. We could get to where the supposed area, the woods, if you activate the. So we thought we could get to the woods about the time we're going to be forced to stop, right? So let's keep going, and we can't go anywhere. And then
I
we'll,
think you'll be right about here.
probably just gonna say he can't keep his eyes open. It's time, and like the rest, it will be up for like 18 hours, and it's gonna be 16 whatever it is, 16 hours, and it's gonna be time for us to take a nap, to go to sleep.
Right? Let's go.
Start my long rest as we leave that place. I don't know if I'm gonna get it, right. I might get 2 hours worth of it, but so Parducci will try to relax and try to sleep in the carriage.
And Sarai, what will you do for the next 2 hours?
We're traveling.
You're in the carriage, traveling down the road.
So Sarai is on her camel.
Okay, on the camel.
So keep
You still see horse tracks, plentiful. You probably
It is
fresh, right? So they're not
Still,
far ahead.
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
You see that the dirt is still dark, and when you light down, it looks not muddy but fresh. PR, you do it. You're still up with the horseman. Again, you would note that as well. The only person with night vision is in the carriage taking a nap.
correct.
Cat nap.
Yep.
All right. Why don't the both of
I
you?
mean, I do have a torch, right?
Yeah, yeah. Which also makes you a beacon in the dark.
Which last one?
Oh, you were using a torch or a lantern? That's a good point.
Yeah.
As lanterns.
Okay. Yeah, if we have lanterns, we'll use a lantern.
Yeah, you could pick one up at Bill. So you're going along. You guys both roll me a perception check. The first one per hour.
Oh, 24.
15.
So
Get it.
24. You notice that you haven't been really paying attention, but you notice that after a while that the horses, the hoof prints are dwindling in number. They're just slowly getting less. Like there's less horses on the road that are still making fresh tracks.
Huh. Is it so the horses are just like off to the sides, or are they just like stopping?
So you watch really careful, and I'd say with your 24, you do notice that these horses, and this is over like a mile, I'd say, maybe less, that you see a couple sets of hoof prints peel off in different directions of the path. So either right or the left of the path, they peel off. And before long, you only see one set of hoof move forward.
Okay. I want to poke my head up and look behind us.
And you can see with your lantern a good 40 feet, and another 10 feet with dim light, 20 feet with dim light.
Yeah, something like that.
All you can see is the closing of the night. And it's about 5, a little bit after 5. So I would also say you see the dawn starting to peek over the far distant forest. And for you, just the start of dawn.
Okay.
You know, the moon starts getting lighter shades of gray and blue.
Nautical twilight.
Yeah, that really light, dark twilight.
Soraya is close enough. I will try to wave her down to come over.
Sure.
Go ahead and get away.
All right. The tracks, the horses that we're following, are splitting off. I'm suspicious that maybe they are coming behind us.
You try to circle back and come from behind.
Possible.
Do you have any thoughts on something we might do about it? Or just keep an eye out?
Just keep an eye out. You could fall back a little ways if you wanted.
I imagine behind the carriage.
Not more than 10 feet.
No, not within close falling distance, but
So you're going to fall back how far again? Did I hear you wrong? Tell me what you're doing.
I guess were you saying that Soraya should fall back further than she was, or
Either keep an eye out or maybe go off to the side and see if something passes us within the next, 10 minutes. And then catch back up, and we'll slow down our pace a bit so you can catch up.
what is the terrain like off of the road?
What is the what?
Terrain like off the road.
Terrain? I'd say you've got boulders and bushes, maybe 10 feet tall at the most. There's still grassland. Maybe the Badlands is a good way to occasionally cross a good-sized outcrop.
Enough that you'd be slowed down sufficiently. You couldn't parallel the road and keep up the same pace.
Probably not. You'd have to exert more effort.
It's already tired, right?
And already bigger and more clumsy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were riding an Arabian horse, nimble might be a slightly different outcome.
Don't mention that to Crawley.
Don't mention the Arabian. But you want to peel off into the woods and wait.
You tell us what you're
you
going
tell
to do.
us. I'm trying to think together.
See, here's the carriage by the stops. Soraya will peel off here, wait a few minutes to see if anybody comes, and then we'll